I guess we're on the air. Oh,
It's Matt Slick Live. Matt is the founder and president of the Christian Apologetics Research Ministry, found online at carm.org. When you have questions about Bible doctrines, turn to Matt Slick Live for answers. Taking your calls and responding to your questions at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
everybody, welcome to the show. It's me, Matt Slick. You're listening to Matt Slick Live. Today is October 9th, 2023. And if you want to give me a call, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276. Now, you got to excuse me for two things. One, I have a head cold. And so if I go quiet as I sneeze and stuff like that, I took some vitamin D and I took zinc and that stuff you put in your nose. I did that stuff. At any rate, so my wife said, take the zinc, take zinc. I can't imitate her voice. So I said, yes, ma'am. So I did that, and who knows, I should feel better pretty quickly. It came on suddenly today, about 2-3 hours ago. And that's what it is. That's one thing. Now, the other thing is at the bottom of the hour, I have to get off the air, and we'll put on a recorded for the last half hour because I have to work on my D-Min stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to continue. I keep talking about it. I'm just going to continue on, and we're going to see. It's pretty repetitious, but I've got so much to do. I don't know if it's worth it just getting a doctorate. But at any rate, so at the bottom of the hour, I'll be doing that. So I'll be dropping out on the bottom of the hour to go do my D-Min work. 3 hours online. I got to be online and we got to interact and talk. And a lot of good people there, though. There are a lot of good people there. I like the guy who's leading it, Dr. Thad James. He's pretty cool. I like him. Good godly man. All right. And if you want, you give me a call. 3 open lines, 877-207-2276. What do you think about Hamas attacking Israel? You know, one thing, if how to describe this? If we were invaded by Russia, I'd go fight. We're invaded by China, I'm going to go fight. We're invaded by Israel, I'm not fighting. I'm not going to fight Israel. They're God's chosen people. He's not done with them yet, and Israel's going to dominate. They're going to destroy the Hamas, and they need to. They need to get rid of them. And we have these leftist morons in our government who think that Israel is the oppressor. And here's a logic that the Muslims use, that the Muslims were given this land. They took it over back 1400 years ago, so it belongs to them. Well, 1,000 years before that, God gave it to the people of Israel. And so but the Muslims are taught over there to hate the Jews. They're taught from childhood up to hate them, and the Jews are taught to be to love your neighbor. And so you can just see why we have so many problems, or they have so many problems over there. Just a lot of stuff going on. Oh, and that's what our call is about. Let's get to Herb from Raleigh. Hey, Herb, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt, you must have been reading my mind. That's exactly what I was calling you about. I know this is all part of prophecy, but in the end of all of this, Israel will still be standing strong according to prophecy. Am I correct on that?
That's correct. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay, so what? I don't know what I'm trying to ask you, but I know what I'm thinking in my mind. What is it about the Palestinians that makes them believe they're truly going to win this thing, knowing what the prophecies of God has already been laid out? What planet are they on?
Well, you got to understand that it's a demonic religion. It's a demonic religion. It is evil, and there's demonic forces at work. And that the people who are raised to hate and to want to kill Jews. In Surah 5:51, it says, "Do not take Jews and Christians as your friends." And so they're taught not to take Jews and Christians as their friends. And so they are taught to hate. They're taught to that the Jews are pigs. They're taught that they are subhuman and they need to be wiped off the face of the earth. This is what they're taught. So do they believe the Bible? Of course not. They say it's corrupted, even though the Quran doesn't say it's corrupted. They just say the Bible's corrupted. They can't prove it. And that's just what it is. So, I went to Bethlehem. I remember this. and it was the West Bank in Palestine. Okay, it's not. I don't believe we ever went to the Gaza Strip, but I do remember this. 5 years ago, when we went to Israel, it was really interesting. We're on the bus, and we're going to go over to Bethlehem. And so I was there and drank out of the well that Jesus was at in John 4, the woman at the well. And women had to wear on the bus, they had to wear veil things. We had to wear little caps and things like this and some other stuff. And they were, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the point. We were on the bus, and there's this gigantic wall, 20 feet tall, and there's armed guards on it on the Israeli side. And there's a sign, no Jews allowed entering into Palestine. As we drove from Israel into Palestine, instantly you noticed the difference in the terrain. In Israel, it was clean and green and fresh, and 10 feet inside, it was desert and trash. And I never forgot the way they treat the land. And we went in, and we were talking to some Israeli boys, some Palestinian boys, and I watched some people eating, and they were just walking, eating, taking their trash and just dropping it on the ground. They had no care. It was just natural as breathing to them. You just drop it on the ground, you keep going. And they don't take care of what they have. They're self-oriented, self-righteous. They don't care, and they destroy. And this is the nature of Islam. It's a destructive religion. And so it's a good thing that most Muslims don't really practice Islam that much.
Well, how can this many people be so ignorant?
It's easy.
Maybe it's just over my head. There's right, there's wrong. And it's pretty obvious righteousness, according to the will of God, is the proper way and the better way to exist, to live. What is in? I know it's the devil in the root of all of this, but can nobody in that group of people that believe the way the Palestinians believe not say, you know what, maybe we're doing the wrong thing? When they look at the filth they're living in, the evil, the killing, will they never just wake up, or
some
are they
do.
just gone?
No, some do. A lot of Muslims in the Middle East are leaving Islam, and a lot of them are tired of the killing and the maiming and hurt and everything. There are visions and dreams of Jesus being had by Muslims by the thousands and thousands. And Al Jazeera has reported on more than one occasion that thousands of Muslims are converting to Christ. And so one of the reasons is because they're so sick and tired of the violence and the hate that Islam produces. One of the reasons.
Well, man, it's been going on for so many years, and you would think by now, even before, I'm thankful they're waking up now, some of them. But how can any group of people, how can a people continue to live like that? No one is. I know some are waking up thanks to the.
It's only no. It's only
like if I stuck my head every time and I kept getting shot at it, wouldn't you think after a while I'd say, don't put your head up there. You keep getting shot at, and there's good, bad things that come from it.
No, you're thinking rationally. That's your mistake. Yeah. You can't think rationally with a cult. Islam is a gigantic cult. You cannot think rationally. I watched a almost 2-hour video last night, documentary on La Luz del Mundo. It's a cult out of Guadalajara, Mexico. And they, the things that they do and believe, it's just insane. I've seen cult mentality everywhere, in politics, in sports, in Protestantism, in the cults, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a certain mentality that I see, dedication, and it's called snapping. I won't get into it all. And so they don't see clearly. They can't see clearly. They don't believe in truth. They don't want the truth. They want their version of truth. They're brainwashed, full of hatred. And that's what's going on.
Well, it's got to break Jesus' heart to see all this, though I'm sure he knew it was going to come about. It's all in the plan, but it's just so sad. It's just so sad.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what else you could say about it, but it's so depressing to see these, little children, innocent children, and any part of human life being harmed this way for just plain evil. But
they think it's righteousness because the God of Islam is the true God, and the God of Islam uses violence. One of the things that I was told by a guy who was raised over there, speaks English perfectly, and in Arabic, and he's helped the government and stuff like that. He said that in the Islamic culture, particularly over there, sound argument is not as important as loudness and anger about an argument, because in their mentality, you're correct if you're loud and you're vociferous, because that means you're convinced, and that's where truth lies. It doesn't lie in logic. It doesn't lie in evidence. So it's another mentality that's over there. It's just a different worldview, absolutely different. Okay.
Well, Matt, the best thing, unfortunately, but yet fortunately too, the blessing in all of this is the fact that we were fortunate to be born in this country. And I feel sorry for so many of those who are in that country, in that area, with all what they're going through. But thanks to the Lord, for at least he for whatever reason, he put us in America. And I'd, much rather be here than there, though my heart just goes out to those people so much. I mean, the Jews have been picked on all of these. I mean, all since the beginning of time. That's World War II. I mean, Hitler and all that stuff. They've just been treated so unfairly, the Jewish people.
Yep.
And they're God's chosen people, and it's just disheartening. Well,
yeah, it is.
Thanks for your explanation as always, Matt. I want to tell you, use some echinacea. The minute you see you got a cold, I was always told, and it works for me, just get some over-the-counter echinacea. It's a herb, like an herb, I think it's called.
We have some.
But it's really good. It'll knock out your cold pretty quick, like in a day or two, if you start taking it the minute you feel the cold coming on.
Oh, well, that was a couple hours ago. That was a couple hours ago, so I missed that opportunity. But, hey, I've got some, so I'll take it. Okay.
Okay, buddy. Well, Matt, God bless you as always. You're just a beam of light in the world for people, because I listen to you every single day. I just love listening to you, and God bless you and your wife, your family. I really and truly pray for you all every single day.
Well, I appreciate it.
Nothing but the best.
Well, I appreciate it,
Yes,
and you can always email my wife and tell her how great I am. Okay.
I will definitely do that, because you need all the help you can get.
I need it. And see, you said, you like listening. Well, that, my wife needs to believe that too. So, I think everybody ought to email info@carm.org and say, Mrs. Slick, listen to your husband because he's awesome. That'd be great. Let's see if we can get invaded.
I will get one off right away.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right, brother.
All right, man. Take care of the friend.
All right.
Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye. All right. Oh, you know how it is with husbands and wives. I said this to my wife once. Hey, did you hear the radio show? She's looking at me. She did one day, and I said, "Did you hear how great I am?" I was talking to her like that. Did you hear that? She's just shaking her head. I said, they said I was great. So do you believe it? She's just shaking her head. Oh, a lot of fun. Hey, there's a break. We right back after these messages. Remember, bottom of the hour, I got to take off. I got to do a D-Min program thing online. And so we'll be back on here normally, though, for the full hour tomorrow. But another 15 minutes, and then I'm out. So, hey, give me a call. I'll be right back after these messages.
Crime doesn't pay unless you're coming in to the good old US of A.
True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author of the book, Last Words of Jesus.
Want a free cell phone? Want great accommodations? Want free education and health care? Enter the United States illegally. Want to commit crimes? The same thing will happen. And a government that doesn't enforce its laws is a government that is criminal itself. It's no wonder we're seeing these videotapes, these TV images of people walking in retail stores and taking whatever they want. And employees try to stop them. They get fired. Retail lost $112 billion last year. Fentanyl, human trafficking, the cartels are at all-time high. A government that does not enforce its laws is a government that is criminal itself. Lord have mercy. It's time to speak up. It's time to pray up. It's time to vote up and stand up for what's right.
True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author of the book, Last Words of Jesus. Available now in bookstores. Learn more at lastwordsofjesus.com.
I have lost all of my feelings for you. Those are the words I spoke to you on year 10.
I'll never forget, because I thought we are a 10 out of 10.
And I thought we're a 1.
This is Real Family Life with Dave and Ann Wilson.
A lot of times you just don't know what's going on in your marriage. At least I didn't.
But one of the things I love that you did was on our dates, you started getting really intentional and you started asking, how do we get our number higher? I was blown away because that is so humble of you.
I didn't want to ask it. I honestly didn't want to ask it, but I knew I needed to. Because I was clueless to how we were doing it. I knew you knew, and you knew how we could get better. And I'm just telling you guys, rate your marriage every week and then make the adjustments to get that number higher, because it will transform your marriage.
We're Ann and Dave Wilson, and that is Real Family Life.
Get more at familylife.com/real.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken.
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. The righteous person may have many troubles, but God is
Crime
there
doesn't
every
pay
time.
unless you're coming in to the good old US of A.
True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author of the book, Last Words of Jesus.
Want a free cell phone? Want great accommodations? Want free education and health care? Enter the United States illegally. Want to commit crimes? The same thing will happen. And a government that doesn't enforce its laws is a government that is criminal itself. It's no wonder we're
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Let's get on the air with Anonymous from Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome. You're on the air.
Yes, Anonymous 66.
Oh,
Good
hi.
evening,
How are you
brother.
doing?
Again.
All right.
I'm good. As silly as ever. Faith and sense of humor. Man, he asked me if I had a question. I'm just like, I don't know, question and comment or whatever. I'm just purposely, intentionally trying to destroy our country, said Captain Obvious.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're watching it.
Yeah.
And to support Hamas.
Mhm.
We have a demoniac in the White House.
Absolutely.
I know you didn't know that, did you? You know?
Oh, yeah, there's
And,
demonic
I'm
forces
just
in heart.
trying
I believe that
Oh,
our
my
country's
gosh.
I suspect our country's already lost because there's too many things in place that are happening that are seen to be coordinated, one thing after another after another. And it's really ridiculous
I
because
do too.
the government supported the COVID thing, and the money that was used to help develop
Yeah.
that came from the United States. Then we have Hillary Clinton calling people like us cultists that need to be deprogrammed. FEMA already has camps all over the United States, and they have that are empty, but they also have coffins that are built up there. There's already being machines that are being developed, vehicles that can go down streets and look into your house just with their equipment and tell you what you are, what you got, if you have guns or not. They can shut things down on you. There's all kinds of stuff going on like that. We've got our border that's open, and I just heard today that I think it was Southern California, I forgot where they found an underground facility that was being built and developed by people who came in across the border illegally because of butt-face Biden. He opened the border, everybody's coming in, and these people were breeding mice, hybridized mice, for the genetically engineered for the purpose of spreading disease. So that there are people that are in place in America in order to bring us down, and all they got to do is shoot out our generators and electric generators, and it'll bring the country down. You could do that very easily. And also, we're running low on diesel. This has been a problem for 2 years. Biden's done nothing about that. And so when we run out of diesel, the economy is going to collapse. This is what's going on. Judgment.
It's the end of the world, and we know it, and we trust Christ. Okay? But yeah,
Yep.
it's just,
Trust Christ and prep.
wow. And you go to, and you go against Israel, Let's see how that works for you.
Yeah, I'm not
Let's
going
see
to
how that
Israel.
works.
That's right. Hamas is going to get their
Anyway.
rears handed to them by Israel. They're going to go in and they're going to clean house. And when I was in Israel last, we saw IDF, and they were walking around. They had their guns, and these people are well trained, and they're there. We saw lots of them, and Israel doesn't mess around. You know. Yeah.
But the quote unquote our guests from bring your tired and your plate and your fentanyl and all that. Come on in. It's just purposely destroying.
Yep.
And I mean, obviously stating I just.
Yep.
But thank you. We stand firm in prayer for Israel. We stand firm in prayer for you and our other. Anyway, another truth, his truth, and nothing but his truth.
Amen.
Wow, stand strong. We love you, man, and take care of yourself. And hello to your wife who has a sense of humor.
She does. That's why she married me. She's still laughing, and then sometimes crying. But sometimes around me, she rubs her forehead and cries a little bit. I don't know what's going on. She's got other issues. But.
Well, we have her in prayer too, as well as you. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. God bless you, and thank you so much. For real.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, man.
God bless.
Good night. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Before we get to the next caller and then take a break, because I'll be gone at the bottom of the hour, I'll be gone for my Monday class work I got to do. But thanks, Charlie, for pointing that out. On CARM, we have the 45 Goals of Communism. Go to carm.org and look up the 45 Goals of Communism and read down. This was published, I think, in 1963, something like this. And you'll be shocked to see how much of it's been accomplished to destroy America. See, we have a great country, and the Christians are asleep at the wheel. They need to stand up. We need to be fighting back. We need to be on guard. We need to be out in public. We need to be voicing everything and stop with the pre-tribulation rapture stuff. We're not going to get out of here. Don't look for an escape route so you don't do anything. Get busy, get off your rears, and get out there. You vote, you make calls, you email, you hold signs up, you protest, you got to organize, you got to do this kind of a thing. It needs to be done. There needs to be a special day or special month where every Christian in the country whose last name starts with an A, on the first Monday of a particular month, everybody gets their signs and they go to the Capitol or they go to the mayor's office and they stand out and say, we want our country back.com or whatever it is. And we do something like that all over the country. The next day, on a Tuesday, the people whose letter starts with a B. You do the same thing for the whole month. And you start saying, we want all over the country, we need to be organized. We need to start saying enough of this. And you get these idiots out of Washington, D.C., who are opening up our borders, who so many of them are taking bribes and having insider information about just to make themselves powerful and rich. And they don't have the mind of God. They do not have the people's interest at heart. Now, there are some who do, but they're so far and few between. Our country is in dire, dire trouble. Miles from nowhere. Thanks for your $10 rant. Well, I just did my rant. Again, go to carm.org, look up 45 Goals of Communism. You'll be surprised what's already in place. Alberto, welcome. You're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt Slick. My question is about watching this guy named Brian Upling, and he talking about all this stuff about videos about the UFO. And he said the top ufologists even believe that they're even demons. They're not really actual objects like UFO. Like
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that documentation. There's a lot of stuff about the UFO stuff that's not taught and not released. And there's plenty of evidence to show that the abductees recount horrendous treatment where sexual experiments are done on genitalia. They're traumatized for years and years. And also they're taught theology. Not all of them, but theology is taught and is common. That reincarnation is true. We're all divine. Jesus is not God in flesh. And so that this is what's it's there. Christians don't get abducted. And when you call out to Christ, the abductions end. There's definitely something demonic going on. And life cannot form by chance any place in the universe. The math does not permit it. Math accurately represents and reacts or reaches into the essence of what reality is and represents it in an abstract form of mathematics. And math demonstrates that life cannot form any place in the universe by chance. And that's a bold statement, but it is true. There's something's going on, and these things are demonically connected. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was talking about when people every time that like they're being like taken away, and then when they call out Jesus, they disappear suddenly.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So demonic forces that.
Yep. That's right. It's not that's not uncommon for that to happen. And they're physical manifestations. Why is that? That's another thing to talk about maybe tomorrow. But hey, folks, I'm out of here for today. I got just bottom of the hour. I got to go do my D-Min work, Doctor of Ministry, that is. And hey, by God's grace, we're back on here tomorrow. Okay. There'll be a repeat for the last half of the show. May the Lord bless you. I'm out of here, folks. God bless. Bye.
All right. Take care. God bless.
We live in an on-demand world. Time, weather, news, and content. That's why the truth